Good morning, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. We're so excited to present our capstone. So our project was about analyzing the return on investment of retail sustainability badging. My name is Kajal Barani.
I'm Maya Carter.
I'm Andrea.
I'm Amelia.
And I'm Fiona.
So we're going to take you through a bit of our roadmap today. We're going to start out by doing an overview of the clean beauty market. We'll move into the ROI on clean badging, which was the bulk of our project, before we discuss how we can leverage L'Oreal's current strategy, and then we'll end with a little bit beyond the badge.
So just to give you a brief overview of some of the findings from our desk research, we wanted to share some key data points that really tell how the market and where it is how the market looks and where it is going. Like this one from a Statista shows the natural cosmetics global market is expected to grow from about 10 billion in 2019 to about 20 billion in 2030. Similarly, another study made by Clean Hub in 2023 showed that consumers are increasingly concerned about the ingredients that their products have. So this shows that about 93% of people deem clean beauty as important when they make purchases. Then this one, for example, shows that the most searched beauty trend online in 2024 was natural skincare. This probably mirrors what young people is, looking online, but this clearly shows how consumer preferences are changing and evolving.
So zooming in a little bit to the badge, we saw that a L'Oreal study demonstrated almost a third of people age 18 and up say they're currently shopping sustainably, and even more want to do so in the future. So we know there's certainly a market there. In terms of the clean beauty market, about 43% of millennial Gen Z consumers self-reported that they're shopping towards natural skincare, and that's more than the national average. And then when we think about the two together in terms of clean and sustainable beauty, it does overlap about 71% of the time, but when it comes to shopping one or the other, the majority of time people will only shop clean. So then zooming out a little bit, thinking about green labels here, not very many people trust large corporations right now. Only a third of people trust large corporations. The majority of consumers really just trust small businesses. And then we also see that in terms of willingness to pay, the green EM people are willing to pay is about 10 to 12%, but companies are usually charging a lot more than that. So that's why we have this disconnect between people saying they want to shop sustainable, shop clean, and retailers actually believing that they'll do so. When we think about the next few data points, 78% of consumers say they want to buy from sustainable brands, but they don't really know how to identify those brands. And a similar amount of people say that they really rely on third-party certifications, labels, badges to identify sustainable products, but they don't even really know what these badges mean. So these two data points really highlight why, for especially L'Oreal, badging can be super important.
So we wanted to look at the top-selling product categories for clean beauty overall. So we looked at Sephora and Ulta because those are the two largest retailers for L'Oreal's brands that are badged. But then we also looked at Goop and Credo, which are the most significant online retailers for clean beauty, and they really show a lot of insight to the direction of the clean beauty industry. So as you can see across the board, clean skincare is the most important beauty category for clean beauty, closely followed by clean makeup, and then also followed by clean hair care. So with this in mind, we wanted to see how important badging would be for L'Oreal's 7 brands that are badged currently at their retailers, and also wanted to look at their target customer segment. So for their professional hair care lines, badging really is not that important because their customers are prioritizing performance of the hair care, so it's not necessarily about having a clean ingredient, where with their luxury hair care lines, it is important, somewhat important for their customers to have an eco-conscious label, but for their luxury skincare brands, people are very concerned about what's in their formula, and that's something you're putting on your face on a daily basis. So there would be a high level of importance of maintaining a clean badge for their luxury skincare brands.
So with that, the whole point of our capstone was to find the return on investment for sustainable badging. So the way we did this was modeling the sales data from year over year, and we got an assumption of the operating margin from L'Oreal's 2024 10K. And additionally, we looked at badge attribution scenario to see incremental changes, and additionally because we can't really assume that 100% of the sales comes from the badge. So looking at brand A, after year over year, we saw that it had a sales increase in its products when it received the Sephora badge. So this showed us that it had substantial positive incremental profit, even at 50%. So that really gives us a really clear picture of that this is a great business case for brand A to continue badging. But for brand B, it shows a different scenario. In 2024, brand B lost its Sephora Clean badge, and in that same year, it saw a sales decline. We can't claim causation here, but when we look at the model, we can see that even at 50%, it would be a difference between significant loss or moderate loss, and with that, we'd see profit impact would be profit lost. So, yeah, thank you.
So understanding that badging is important for certain brands at L'Oreal, what we recommend is that L'Oreal acknowledges the power that some of its brands have to advocate for more transparent and a more consistent, clean badging process. What we mean with this is that Sephora has made clean beauty a core pillar of its growth strategy. From about 50 brands that they used to launch their Clean at Sephora program in 2018, they have grown to about 130 in 2024. These represent about 45% of their sales growth. So it is clearly in their best interest to keep brands like L'Oreal's for maintaining its credibility in its programs. So what we're recommending here is that instead of taking a passive reactive approach to green labeling and green badging, L'Oreal should acknowledge the power they have to advocate for clear standards and also to perhaps promote agreements where they can harmonize the definitions for clean, to recommend clearer badging process, and also to promote the exchange of information, insights, and best practices among the industry. That would help them gain some bargaining power.
So now talking a little bit beyond the badge, because we've established that, the badging system is kind of the Wild West right now, so how can L'Oreal maximize its strategy beyond that? And we delved into some of the psychological research behind sustainability branding. And decades-old research has shown that people are unlikely to undertake a behavior unless they know it's going to mean something. This is called self-efficacy, and you build it online by creating real-time, live consumer education. This increases purchase intent, which sustainable products need right now. The second thing that really stood out in the research was the concept of building delight around sustainable products. Research has shown that the experience of delight actually has stronger impact on purchase intent than overall website satisfaction. So that might look like animated rewards, which we'll talk about here. What does this look like in practice for L'Oreal? Sustainable educational pop-ups on certain products that show transparently how buying this product matters and is helping L'Oreal move forward with their sustainability goals could be super effective. And then also animated rewards. And it doesn't have to be like Las Vegas, but if it's just on eco-friendly products, then that creates repeat behavior. These are micro rewards that create repeat behavior, which is another thing that will help build purchase intent around sustainable products.
And lastly, we wanted to thank our sponsor, Nicole and L'Oreal, for giving us the opportunity to, one, do this project, but also inviting us to New York to present. We're very grateful, and thank you for listening to our presentation.